So I'm going to wait a few minutes before we get started, just to make sure that people have time to log on. But for those of you that, hi Yancy, for those of you that are here now, if you hear odd sounds in the background, it is my bulldog. I've tried to keep him occupied with a treat, but I cannot make any promises as far as like what comedic scenarios might happen today. I am teaching from my house because I have a few symptoms. I've the last few days had a little bit of shortness of breath and fatigue. So just to be on the safe side, I didn't want to take any of that into the studio that I normally teach. So bear with me, bear with my pets. I thought today, with that being the case, with me being a tad bit under the weather, we would walk through some breathing techniques and then move into a gentle practice. The techniques that I chose today are based on exercises for people that have chronic lung issues like COPD, asthma. I have asthma as well, and bronchitis, things like that. They're pretty simple, so bear with me as we kind of move through all of this. Hi guys, together. I'm moving a little bit slower than I normally do, and I know we always take our time and do things. For those of you that are just joining us, any odd sounds that you hear in the background is my bulldog. I have 2 dogs, so they may come and join me. Just bear with the chaos today. We're going to get through it together. But the first breathing technique is we're just going to stand. And I'll probably have to make some adjustments here. And just place your hands on your hips. And then this is called a rib stretch. We're going to inhale deeply. You want to start by inhaling through your diaphragm, pulling as much air as you can then into your lungs. We're going to hold it for, they say, like 20 seconds or so. I probably won't be able to hold it that long today. So, and then we're just going to slowly exhale and emptying your lungs completely. So bring your hands on your sides. Inhale through your nose. And then exhale. And just so you know what these wonderful sounds are today, here's my great bulldog as he is chewing on his bone, which I thought that was going to be, a good idea at the time. I'm kind of rethinking that. Let's just move through one of these, the rib stretches. So again, having your hands on your hips, you're going to inhale, bringing the air into your diaphragm first, then pulling as much air into your lungs as you can. We're going to hold it at the top for maybe 10 to 20 seconds, and then we're just going to exhale. So inhale. And then slowly exhale. You may notice a little bit of lightheadedness as you're doing this. Just make sure that you're breathing, in between, super, taking really nice deep breaths. I'm not very articulate today either. One more time, we're going to do one of those. So inhale. And then exhale. Before we move on to the next one, let's just go ahead and find a forward fold. So just feet are about its distance apart as usual. You can keep a nice bend in your knees, just relaxing into your forward fold. If you'd like to take your elbows or interlace your fingers behind you, then feel free to do that. Just shaking your head yes and no, relaxing through your shoulders. And just breathe. All extra sounds are courtesy of my dogs today. Maybe find some gentle movement here in both directions. Just allowing your body to kind of guide where you need your practice to be today. Letting your feet be grounded into the mat, into the floor. Just notice where you're holding stress. And then just release your mind, slowly rolling up to standing. You can just shake through. We're going to come into a seated position now. The second breathing technique is it's called pursed lip breath. We've talked a little bit about it. I've never called it that, but that's like the technical term for it. Same thing. You're going to fill up your diaphragm first. You're going to inhale through your nose. We're going to inhale for a count of 5, and then you want your exhale to be twice as long as your inhale. So if you're inhaling for 5, then you want to make your exhale longer than that. Preferably 10 count breath, but okay, so let's inhale. So into your lungs first. Inhale to a count of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And exhale through pursed lips for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Yes, Amber, that bulldog soundtrack is excellent. I couldn't have picked a better soundtrack for our practice today. Reminding you to breathe. Okay, let's do that again. So inhale for a count of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Exhale for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And we'll do that one more time. And what this does is it helps to expand your lungs. So our lungs are a muscle. I know you guys probably know all this, but your lungs are a muscle, and you can do these exercises to help keep your lungs healthy. And also, if you have an underlying issue like asthma or COPD or anything, this can actually help you to create some more space and work through some of those issues. So one more time, inhale through your nose for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And exhale for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right. So since we're seated, why don't we just go ahead and work through some neck rolls. So let's drop our chin to our chest, relaxing our shoulders down our back. And then just gently start to work with some half circles. And then maybe making some full rotation if that feels healthy on your neck. If not, just keep with the, half rotations. We're not in a hurry today. And continuing to breathe whatever feels right for you today. Maybe you're inhaling and exhaling through your nose. Maybe you're just inhaling out and I almost said out hell, which is a joke between some of us, but exhaling through your mouth, whatever feels normal. You could breathe like my bulldog if you want to. I would recommend that. So then just go ahead and place your right hand down on the ground. We're going to drop our left ear to our left shoulder. Maybe take your fingertips, placing it on the side of your head here, and just breathe. As we're holding some of these poses, you can also work, use some of those, the pursed lip breath. So inhaling for 5, exhaling for 10. And then go ahead and release. Releasing your left hand down to the mat. Right ear goes to right shoulder. And then maybe if you place your fingertips on the side of your head here. Yeah. Comedy all around. We all need a little comedy break every once in a while. That was my plan. Not a lot of, FightFlex going on today, but a whole lot of like bulldog snorts and whatever else that is. And come back to center. We'll come on to our hands and knees now. This is why we do all this stuff, right? We practice this, so when things aren't exactly the way that we feel like they should be, when life is, unpredictable and we kind of have to learn to go with the flow, then we can come back to some of the stuff that we do here. So just really press your hands into the mat, and then start to work through some cat and cows here. You can pull your belly button up to your spine. Yeah. And just really see what your body needs this morning or this afternoon. You can add in some C curves here. A little laughter never hurt anyone. Yeah. Rounding through your spine. Again, pulling your belly button into your spine, taking your knees wide, sitting back for a child's pose. So extending your fingertips towards the front of the mat, spreading your fingers wide. And then just settle in. Settle into your breath. If your forehead's on the mat, notice that sensation that comes up. Notice anything that arises for you, like in your body, in your mind. And just breathe with that for a moment. Oh. Coming back through your tabletop. Dude. Go on, man. Again, finding a gentle cat and cow. Coming back to a seated position, extending your feet out in front. And then we're just going to take our feet wider than our hips, and you're just going to gently windshield wiper your legs from side to side. Man, it's always a new experience, you know? Like, who would have thought a few months ago that I would be teaching Facebook Live classes? You can add in a twist. With the background noises to my bulldog. And this is my pug, in case anybody wants to know. She's not quite as noisy, but yeah. So come back to center. Extend your legs out straight. You can take your feet a little bit wider than your hips and just point and flex your toes, maybe round through your toes, or circle through. You can keep a nice bend in your knees. Yeah. Oh, goodness. And then we're just going to take our hands. We'll start with our hands. You can even keep your palms face up. And just round through your spine here. Tucking your chin, allowing your chin to move towards your chest. Trying to release any tension in your cervical spine as you just allow your back to naturally roll forward. Your feet can kind of do whatever they want. Honey, back up to a seated position. This time we're going to make it a little bit more active, so you want to keep your feet activated. And you can either have your hands on the inside or the outside, or you can even reach for your feet. I encourage you to keep a bend in your knee here for the moment. Still looking forward. It's okay if you have a little bit of rounding in your spine here. Focus on your breathing. If your knees are, if you have a micro bend, start to maybe walk your heels out a little bit more, taking that bend out of your knees if that's possible. If it's not, that's okay. Just continuing to breathe. Or laugh or giggle or, you know, snort, whatever works for you. Maybe you release a little bit further into this forward fold. Maybe that's next class. And breathe. And then slowly coming back up to seated. We'll take our feet to the mat again. Windshield wiper in your legs from side to side. And then take your right ankle, just cross it over your left leg, and that might be enough. If this is too much on your hips, like if you have super tight hips, you can either walk that foot out a little bit more, or you can even come down to your back and do it this way. You have the option too, if you need a little bit more, you can walk your bum closer to your heels, and that's going to intensify the stretch through your hip. I'm just pausing, taking a breath, an intentional breath. When I first started doing like any kind of yoga or stretching or anything, and the instructor would say, breathe, I would be like, well, what do you think I'm doing? I mean, I'm still alive, right? And then I realized that it's more about intentional breath, like taking a moment and really focusing on where that breath is going. Or in my bulldogs case, not going. So go ahead and scoot your bum back just a tiny bit if you've already, if you moved your heels up. We're going to take this left or our right foot and drop it over to the left. And you can stay here. You can wrap your arm around your the right leg, or you can even take your elbow and come into a deeper twist here. So bringing your right elbow on the inside of that right leg, and twisting. This is one for the books, guys. But in all seriousness, like, you know, I intentionally stayed home. I knew I was going to have to deal with some chaos because although I think it's allergies and asthma, I don't know. And I don't want to put anyone else at risk. So go ahead and come back to the center, releasing that right foot down, bringing your left foot over your right. And again, you can move your hips closer to your foot, which is going to increase and intensify that stretch a bit. You're going to knock everything over. So what's the protocol here in Mecklenburg County right now? Well, according to my doctor's office, since testing supplies are super low, if you have mild symptoms, they just, want you to stay home. If your symptoms increase or become more severe, then they want you to contact them, and then they'll possibly make arrangements for you to be tested, if they even have any. So just to let you know how that's going around here. So then we're going to go ahead and drop that left foot down to the right. This is my cat. You guys get to meet him too, apparently. And then you can take your left hand around your left leg, Or you can bring that left arm in the inside and coming into a deeper twist. And just continue to breathe. Oh, goodness. And then coming back to center, both soles of the feet come back to the ground. Windshield wiper from side to side. Nice. We're going to take our knees over to the right, so into this 90-90 or pseudo 90-90 position. Bringing your hands out in front, and then you're going to come down either to, you can stay on your hands, or if you want to come down to your forearms for a hip stretch. Yeah. You should feel this in your front leg, pressing your thigh into your mat. You probably are going to feel it in your left leg as well. You can continue to work your way down closer to the floor if that's, you know, in your practice, or you can just stay up on your forearms here. And breathe. Again, you can practice the pursed lip breath, inhaling for 5, exhaling for longer. And it doesn't have to be 5. I mean, you could do inhale for 3, exhale for 6, as long as your exhale is longer than your inhale. Coming back up to seated, you're going to start to put your weight into your right side, and then we're just going to lift this left leg off the ground. And then release. And remember, this is one that, like, it takes a little bit of time for your body to remember how to activate. So don't be too hard on yourself if, you know, you're not getting very far off the ground. It's pretty normal. Go ahead and lift again. And release. And one last time. And release. This time bring your heel toward the ceiling. Same thing. Like, it's okay if you are only able to get your heel off the floor, not very far. And then release. And one more time like that. And release. Nice. Go ahead and extend your left leg out in front. We're going to bring our right knee, so your right foot and ankle are going to be out to the side. Right knee is going to come over to the left. It's not a little stinky leg. Stretch. Oh my gosh. And breathe. Yep. Chaos has ensued. Good change of pace, I guess. You know. Go ahead and extend that right leg. Soles of the feet go back on the floor. Windshield wiper your legs, and then we're going to drop our legs over to the left side and do all this on this side. So bringing your fingertips in front. Maybe your forearms come to the ground. Maybe you relax all the way down. Finding where you'd like to be today. And just breathe here. Yep. That's right. Just breathe where you're at. You'll notice that your left leg this time is pressing into the mat, into the floor. Notice any sensations that arise as you're here, any thoughts. Oh my gosh, killing me, Davey. Hey. Go ahead and come back up to your hands. Start to lean over to your left side this time. Lifting your leg off the floor. Again, remember, you might not be able to lift very far, but do the best. Maybe you're distracted by incessant chewing of a bone. It's all good. Release. Coming back to center. And then go ahead and lift that right leg off the floor this time. And then release. And then you're going to bring your heel toward the ceiling. Again, remember, you may not be off the ground very far, and that's okay. And then release. And then one more time. Awesome. Nice. Dropping that heel down to the ground. Extending your right leg this time. Bringing that left knee to the right, into the right knee, your stanky leg. Feet and ankles are in alignment here. I know it's kind of cut off, but that's what I got. Animal Kingdom over here. And come back to a seated position. You can come into an easy seat, just crossing your legs. We're going to move through the shoulders just a bit, and then we'll wrap it up with that last breathing exercise. So go ahead and bring your hands behind your head, extending your elbows out like to the side, really feeling a stretch through your shoulders here. Then dropping your shoulders or your elbows together, rounding forward, taking a breath, inhaling, coming back through center, opening out. Pushing the back of your head into your hands as you reach your chin toward the ceiling a little bit. We'll do that one more time. Exhale, elbows come together. Taking a breath. Coming back through center. Yeah. And then release. We'll take our left hand up to the ceiling. Drop it back behind you, taking your left elbow here. And then just release into a stretch. You can, as you're here and your shoulders start to open up, you can start to lift your chin just a tiny bit. And slowly release. Right fingertips go to the ceiling, dropping them back behind your head. Left hand goes to elbow. And again, once you start to feel that stretch in your shoulder, you can start to reach your chin toward the ceiling a bit. And then slowly release. Go ahead and roll through your shoulders in both directions. Yeah, maybe move a cat or a dog out of your lap, depending on what you're doing. Yeah. You can move through the wave, move through your wrist, shake them out. And then just come down to your back. This is the last. This is going to be really adventurous for me, by the way. Come down to your back. It's the last breathing technique. We've done this one before as well. But place one hand on your abdomen and one hand on your chest. And we're just working on or focusing on our diaphragm. So as you inhale, you want to notice that you're pushing your hand that's on your belly towards the ceiling. Pausing at the top. Your hand on your chest should move very minimally. And then as you exhale, same thing. You should notice the hand on your belly moving. The one on your chest, not so much. Maybe just a little bit. So just inhale through your nose, filling up your diaphragm, pushing your hand on your belly towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, so we're focusing on moving our diaphragm and not our chest. Not only is this great to help exercise your lungs, but it's also really good to help, lower your blood pressure and relax. And then just bring the soles of your feet together, allowing your knees to kind of butterfly towards the floor. You can press your feet together to create a little bit more tension here as you can continue to breathe for the next few moments. And then just can release your breath, taking any tiny movements, maybe pulling your knees into your chest, giving yourself a little bit of a massage here. Yep, my cat says that's what we're supposed to do, I guess. Oh, geez. And then come back up to a seated position. Thank you guys for showing up. Super short session today, but in lieu of the chaos in my house and, me not feeling 100%, I appreciate you guys for showing up and, supporting Fit to Fight Republic, supporting me, the community, and, enduring these wonderful, animal sounds that we've had. Great background. They should make it like a FightFlex track with that, right? But I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all on Thursday. Thanks.